The more often you choose courage instead of avoidance, the more courage becomes. That's why affirmation alone often don't work. You standing in front of the mirror and saying, I'm confident. I am confident. It's technically won't convince your brain that has years of evidence saying otherwise. Your brain quietly respond like, really? Seriously? Now show me. Hi, my name is Ala and I want to tell you something about confidence and how to be confident. So, have you ever met someone or maybe just simply look at someone and then you thought, I wish I had their confidence? Maybe they're not the smartest person in the room, maybe they're not the most beautiful person in the room, or maybe they're not the most talented, or maybe they're not the most experienced, but somehow they speak with confidence. They raise their hand without overthinking. They walk into a room like they belong there. And they posting something online without even wondering what everyone else will think. And then there's you. You know you're capable, but somehow your mind keeps asking, what if I'm embarrassed myself? What if I'm not good enough? What if people judge me? And I want you to know this. It is okay. It is totally fine. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. And surprisingly, confidence has a very little to do with personality. Psychologists have been studying confidence for decades, and one of the most important ideas come from psychologist Albert Bandura. He introduced something called self-efficacy, and self-efficacy simply means that you believe that you can handle a situation. Not that you'll be perfect, not that you'll never fail, but simply whatever happened, you will figure it out. And here's something most people don't realize: your brain doesn't build confidence by listening, it builds confidence by collecting evidence. So, now think how to ride a bicycle. At the first time you got on, you probably felt scared, right? Maybe you failed. Maybe you almost cried. Maybe you want to quit. But after riding it again, and again, something changed. Not because the bicycle becomes easier, but your brain simply gathered enough proof that you knew how to do it. And that's exactly how confidence works. Your brain is like a lawyer. It doesn't care about your wishes, it cares about evidence. If every day you avoid speaking up, your brain writes down speaking up is dangerous. If every day you avoid trying new things, your brain writes down new things are unsafe. But if only one day you start to speak, even though your voice shakes and nothing terrible happened, the next time you do it again, your brain remember that. And then you do it again, and your brain slowly changing the story. That's how confident work. This is also connected to something called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity simply means that your brain can change through experience. So every time you repeat a behavior, your brain simply just strengthens the pathway for it. It's like walking through a forest. For the first time, it's not gonna be easy. There's no path. You need to push the branches away. That's difficult. But if you walk to the same path every day, eventually becomes clear and easy because your brain works almost the same way. The more often you choose courage instead of avoidance, the more courage becomes. That's why confidence isn't something that you're born with, but something you practice. Now here's something that surprised me when I first learned it. Confident people still get nervous. They still overthink. They still doubt themselves. There's a moment when they doubt themselves. The difference isn't that they have less fear. The difference is they stop treating the fear as a stop sign. Instead, they treat it as information. They think I'm nervous because this matter, not I'm nervous because I cannot do it. There's a huge difference. Imagine two people giving a presentation. Both have sweaty hands. Both are scared. One thinks I'm going to fail. And the other thinks I'm so excited because this is so important for me. Their body feel almost exactly the same, but the meaning they give to those feelings completely will change what happened next. Another thing we often misunderstand is about confidence versus self-esteem. People think they are same, but they are not. Self esteem is how much you value yourself as a person, but confidence is believing you can do specific things. For example, you can have high confidence at your work but still feel insecure in your relationship at the same time. Or maybe you love yourself but still feel nervous before giving a speech. They are connected, but they are not identical. Now, let me ask you something. When was the last time you did something that genuinely scared you? Not something that impossible, but maybe something just uncomfortable. Maybe you introducing yourself first, or maybe you go to the cafe alone, to go to restaurant alone, do everything all by yourself, or maybe you posting yourself online, or you just say no when you usually say yes, because those moments are matters like more than you think, because every uncomfortable action becomes evidence, and evidence change your brain. That's why affirmation alone often don't work. You standing in front of the mirror and saying, I'm confident, I am confident, it won't um, it's technically won't confuse your brain that has years of evidence saying otherwise. Your brain quietly respond like, really? Seriously? Now show me. Well, that's honestly fair enough, because your brain is not trying to hurt you, it's trying to protect you. It simply believes what it has repeatedly experienced. So instead of trying to think your way into confidence, act your way into confidence. Like one small action, one hard decision, one difficult conversation, tiny risk. It's enough. That's totally enough. Because confidence isn't built in one dramatic moment, it built through hundreds of ordinary moments when you prove to yourself that I survived, I learned, I do hard things. Eventually, something amazing happens. The things that once terrified you becomes normal. Not because the world changed, but because you did. So if you've been waiting to feel confidence before you chasing your dream, before you starting new life, before you start your business, before you creating content, before you asking someone out, maybe you've been waiting in the wrong order, because confidence doesn't come first. Action comes first. Confidence is the receive your brains give you afterward. So here's a question I'd love for you to think about. What is one small uncomfortable things that you can do today that your future self will thank you for? Because that one small things, that one small action, that one small decision might be your first piece of evidence that your brain has been waiting for.